just want to ask you about the role social media plays here, because some players in the past would have talked about being misrepresented by the media when they speak out on issues. Now you have a function where you can speak directly to fans, you can speak with the filter off. How much of a benefit is that?
I think social media is a blessing and a curse. Now people around the world have the tool and have the fortunate to be able to communicate with their heroes, their favorite players, not just in football but in film, in music, and this is something that you couldn't do 20 years ago, and is amazing. But it's always amazing when it's used in the right way, when it's used to communicate in a positive way, to communicate the right messages, to be able to interact with people that you could have never happened, you would have done before. And I think that's the great thing about social media. And then there's so many other negative ones, like as we all know, and it's all about using it in a way for us in which we can influence always people in the most positive way.
Yeah, the filter's off in what you can say to people. The filter's also off in what you have to read and what you have to hear. It's refreshing, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, of course. The only thing with it as well is there's always people there waiting for the smallest slip up, so they can make the biggest headline about something you probably have never said, about something that they can have reworded, and it's, as I say, it's a blessing and a curse. But I think it's amazing the fact that where something could come out in the news before and there was no way that you could make up for it. Right now it's very easy to say, like, oh, listen guys, I never said this, I said that. And as I say, it's always about using it in a positive way, in a way that it can enhance you and the people around you and your club and your image, and that's always the best way.
Of course, you're not alone in having to read criticism on social. The likes of Raheem, Sterling, Mesut, of course, one of your teammates, have had to go through that as well. What do you think when you see that?
I always said it when I was really young. I used to care a lot about these things because I come from this generation where social media was a very important thing even growing up. So, at the beginning it can hurt you, but when you start playing football and then you just see there's people are going to talk whether you do well or you don't, so it gets to the point that you just don't care about it. People can type anything they want, and it's like you scroll through and you don't see it. So I think that's something that comes as a professional. You love football, you play every day, and with that you're so lucky that you're able to do this. But at the same time, there's going to be negative things about it, and that's probably one of them. But it's part of the job. It's something that you have to deal with, and as you say, it just makes you blind and deaf towards all this kind of criticism. We know the kind of criticism we need to take, which comes from coaches, which comes from people that know football, and I'm always open to learning. When I make mistakes, I know when I make them, the coach will tell me, you should have done this, you should have done that, and it's about listening to the right people. All the 3,000 or 300,000 coaches out there, who think they're coaches, and they always telling you what you should do, what you need to do, and these are not the ones that you gotta listen to. You need to listen to what you've been learning, to the coaches around you that always will give you the best advice for you and for the team, and that's the best way for the club and for the team to always work in the best way possible.
You said recently, Hector, that if you act differently, you become a target. Why do you think people react that way?
I don't know. I think it's always change is always scary for a lot of people, or people think because we've living in a certain way for the last 20 years, we should be living in the same way in the 20 years after, and this is not like this. The world keeps evolving, society keeps solving problems to get new ones, and there's things that you could say 20 years ago that you can say no more. And I think people are afraid of all this change, and it always takes one person to raise this issue in order to change, like happened with MLK, when so many people must have been like, this guy is crazy, but then thanks to people like him, as a society where we are today, and we're still not even halfway of where we should be. So it's important, to have people like that in order to progress and to be better people and to be a better world.
Come on guys, subscribe.